Tammy here. So today I'm going to talk about The Billionaire's Wife, written by Mia Caldell. This is a BWWM book. The main characters for this book are Cold, Kiona, aka Keys. So this book basically is about Cole found out he's dying, and he wants to find a way to rebuild, for a person to take over his company and keep his employees there and keep them happy and give them a good payout. He loves his employee. Cole is a phenomenal boss. He's a great boss. He has quarterly parties every year. He has great bonuses for his people. He takes care of them. They're all his co-workers. His workers walk around smiling, have a good day about them, no drama, no attitude. They just really love the company. And you very rarely find that in the books. I really like that about the book. Everybody, every department, every day always had good things to say about him. He's always taking care of them, looking out for their family, their needs, whatever situation they have coming awry. He will basically take care of them, right? So he loved his workers that much, so he wanted to keep them vested and keep them there. So, which is good, I understand that. The person that he wanted to take over his company, though, is a rich Japanese guy, and actually he's black, and the guy has very strict requirements. He's old school, so he basically gave, excuse me, sorry guys, he basically gave Cole some rules that he wanted to he needs to fulfill before he buys his company. And I was like, oh God, this is gonna be interesting. One of the things was that he needed a wife, and it was the major thing. So Cole was like, I'm dying, I don't want no wife. Why would I want a wife? I'm dying, like, just take care of my people. But no, he had to find a way to find a wife, and actually found love. So Cole ended up finding Keys, right? So let me tell you about Keys. Keys is a corporate spy. Keys was hired to manipulate her way into Cole Company, find out how he made his billions so fast, and sell it to them, and then they could basically mimic what he did and make a name for themselves by bringing him down at the same time. At this, so something was going on, and Keys basically walks into a meeting, and she found some things that was wrong, and she was very outspoken about it, and he was taken by her. But that wasn't the only reason why he was taken by her. He had did his research on her already, his own background check, and he found out what kind of person she is. He just wanted to know who hired her. So in the end, he found a way to manipulate Keys to become his wife and take over his company, not take over his company, but keep her close, because he wasn't sure who hired her and what was her true purpose there. Long story short, they got married, and he still was, his health was declining. He haven't told her yet, but they slowly fell in love with each other, which was when it started like the book started really getting good. Like, they were going on a honeymoon, they were doing stuff together, it was just picking up. Then the drama at the workplace started happening, who was manipulating who not to be trusted, and it was just a lot of things going on in the book. And first it was like, okay, who do you trust, who do you not trust? Like, and being the person that he is, he needs to know what's going on, but he was so caught up in his health and finding a way to keep his employees there, that his good employees there, that he wasn't really thinking about the true culprit behind the whole thing. But then in the side part of it, he was also very smart about it, because he had a few ideas who could be trusted, who could not be trusted. So he was basically had so much things going on. He really couldn't focus on one thing per se, and he really needed to focus on his health, and he couldn't get it. Eventually, he told Keys about his health, and that he's dying, and that he only has 3 weeks to live, and everything. She was heartbroken, and she was feeling for him. She's like, no, don't tell me that. We could work on this. We could fight it. We're going to be together forever. So you could tell that she really fall in love with him at the time. Like, okay, yeah, she's doing her thing. She likes him. Anyway, It's so come that the guy coming from Tokyo or Japan, he's coming over now to meet Keys to find out if the marriage is real or is a sham and everything. So Keys basically, when Keys met him, she read him well. She was like, okay, this guy is just no good. He's up to something and everything. So she read him the Japanese guy a new one. She told him basically about himself that you were never really going to buy the company. You were just here to find out if he found love, and guess what? He found love, and now he's losing it. What are you going to do about it? Nothing, right? Exactly. So around the same time, she was telling him off. Cole basically fell out on the floor. So he was on his last. So they took him to the hospital. Long story short, they told him that he's not going to make it to the night. Lo and behold, not his co-worker, but one of his worker, Larry, rode a motorcycle and had a fatal accident, and he passed away. And guess what? He's an organ donor. So his lungs that he was sick with, that was causing him to die, he was able to basically get the lungs and have a successful surgery. So after the surgery was successful and everything was on, Cole and Keys basically came back together. They weren't to break up, but they came together, form a good bond, a good relationship. The Japanese guy still bought out the company. So what Cole did, Cole went and cleaned house before the Japanese guy took over, and basically got rid of all the trader and everybody that was fighting against him in the company, and um then the company was saved, and the guy, everything was going good. His employees got a good severance package. If they want to stay with the company, they could, yada yada yada. So he basically took care of the company, and Keys got pregnant, and that's the end of the book. And they had their happily ever after, practically, right? So what I really didn't like about this book is that it was such a slow beginning, like real slow. Like I was really turned off up to a point, but I said, no, Mia writes very good book. I have to check it, finish reading it, and I'm glad I did. I was hoping that she would definitely like spruce it up again for next time, not like this. But some writers, it's the book, it's the how they feel at the time when they're writing a book. It might be good, it might be bad. So I give her a pass anyway. I will still read her books in the future. But as I said, this one was a slow beginning, but it did pick up 2/3 into the book. So check it out. It's The Billionaire's Wife, written by Mia Caldell. Bye, guys.